So while you guys are looking that up, I got a real world story, or not a real world. This is not real world, but a modern story. So there was a pastor that was talking about. It was actually talking about making sure that you're obedient, even if you don't understand why. So we are called to be obedient, not to understand exactly why we're doing what we're doing. So if God tells us to do it, we go and do it. So that's a challenge for us, especially here, living in the modern age, and we question everything. There's definitely not a shortage of lies and false truths that we have to navigate through on a regular basis
every day.
But back to the story is there was a guy, and he was telling this testimony story, that he was a new believer, and he was just kind of listening to worship music in the car, and he was house hunting. And so he's just going around, and he noticed this giant brick house, brick mailbox, real nice place, and he was like, oh, well, this is a nice neighborhood. I kind of wish that I would, I wish I could, afford to live here, but I wish this house was for sale. And just something, told him, he's like, just say, Jesus loves you in this mailbox. And he's like, what? I ain't doing that. I look like an idiot.
You look like an idiot.
Just another, just another thing. He's like, this is really important. I want you to open the mailbox, and I want you to yell in there, Jesus loves you.
Yeah.
And he's looking around, making sure that nobody sees him. He's like, okay, I'll go ahead and do it. So he opens the mailbox and he screams, Jesus loves you, and then he shuts it real quick and drives off because he's like, I don't want anybody to recognize me or see me because, that was just the silliest thing that I've done, But, hey. Well, and he goes on his life, and I think it was months, maybe even a year later, he found out that this guy's given a testimony, and he was in that house with a noose around his neck about to kill himself.
Oh.
And he heard, Jesus loves you.
He heard somebody shout, Jesus loves you.
Yeah. And he stopped. He's like,
wow.
And I think he actually asked, he's like, Lord, if you're there and if you love me, let me know.
Wow.
And that's what happened.
Bro,
so now
there's
several different things that God could have done in order to be able to save that man's life and let him know that he is loved. The rope could have broke, or he could have slipped off and got knocked unconscious, and then he was at the hospital, and then somebody else was able to minister him.
Yeah.
But he chose this one guy, and it just happened. This guy was obedient, so they have a part in that. Yeah. So, and then it blessed his life later on. Whenever he found out that he had a part in saving this man's life,
it increased his faith.
And increased his faith.
Yeah.
So he got to be a part of it. So God doesn't need us, but He chooses us to be a part of His plan because He wants to share.
Yeah. Because it's beneficial for both parties.
Yes.
That's why He says it's better to give than to receive.
That's right.
The person who is giving is blessed and seeing the joy of the person who is receiving, and the person who is receiving is blessed because they receive something that they needed.
That's right.
So his faith got increased when he found out that, wow, I played a part in that.
Yeah.
And then that guy got blessed because he saved his life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now his faith's increased.
That's right.
It's just beautiful how God works.